All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I put together 3 wars in one video, trying to save time. I got war 3, 4, and 5. Stella, and then 2 other alliances I've never heard of. This was fun here. I got this from a daily Paragon. I put this at the end. If you want to skip to the end of the video, you can see who I pulled. It's a pretty badass pull. I was stoked. Wasn't expecting it at all. The Paragon pulls have been good. I opened 10 at a time only, and the first 10 I got a 6-star Jugs, added 26 to him. I think he's 60 now. Second one, just resources, no tier 5 resources. Tier 6? Yeah, tier 6B and tier 6A. Neither one of those. Or is it tier 5? Man, I don't even know. Rank 4 materials, didn't get any, right? But then the third set of 10, I got this, and it was awesome. Still no rank 4 materials, but it is what it is. Still good pulls. I'm not disappointed. I missed the bands on this. What was it? Human Torch, Quake, Ghost, I think? So yeah, I only had 4 fights this war. I pretty much take Man Thing whenever he's on this strike counter node now, just because I've gotten pretty proficient at him. And basically until I die, it's kind of like, you know, we have other people that can definitely take him and solo him all the time, but it doesn't always work out for planning. And Doom is a really good counter, so I've been taking him a lot, and you know, there's always something new on that node. I mean, especially with this Miss Global, Miss-Tic, is it? Yeah, you know, you just gotta keep an eye on all the stuff that's going on the node, and it can get away from you for sure. But Doom's great. Plus, he's rank 4, so I really want a rank 4 Man Thing for that node because he's always there. Like, it's just like a few champs just turn up on these nodes where it's like that's just their node. Like the new node 7 that's now conflictor in tier 1 on 7A. Long shot. It's going to be long shot every time, and it should be. Like, he is a total jerk there, and you have to send a proper counter. And if they're not incinerate immune, he's probably going to get to that level 2, and it's going to kill you. But yeah, it's just kind of how it works out. You know, EMP, Apocalypse is always great there. We've seen some Kitty Pride there recently. Nick Fury. It's generally like the same 3 to 5 champs on that node. But yeah, so, but I have Hood, 3A, Man Thing, at the end of that, and then my other 2 fights in this war, I think, were mini bosses. Pretty sure, yeah. But yeah, Man Thing, right? So you don't need a level 1 start here, but I like it, and you know, they're kind of in surplus, and I use them strategically, and you know, I have enough loyalty and whatnot to just buy them and use them as I need them. So yeah, you know, you can go in vulnerability, but I'm not too worried about getting hit on this node. It's really just the, you know, getting to level 3, you know. And you don't necessarily, I mean, another guy in my alliance, he wants to try the level 1, level 2 rotation and just burn him up and, you know, avoid the level 3. And yeah, I mean, it'll work. The level 2 definitely, it definitely wrecks him. But I like the level 3, I guess, because as long as you aren't in miss, right, when you throw it, it does a lot of damage. You're not taking any poison if you have poisons on you from Man Thing at the time. You puts aura up on you right away. You know, they're in a passive stun. It's just, you know, I prefer it. I mean, but now your Fury can get 15% chance to get nullified. So that'll cause miss, and it's, you know, it's a giant chunk of Doom's damage from the level 3. But yeah, I mean, you can do it either way. You saw I took a heavy there. Just I try not to dex, you know, so I can avoid the miss. But, you know, those Push Jewels, they count as buffs, so you're going to miss when those expire or get nullified. But yeah, great node for Man Thing. definitely saw him with Doom, and there's others. I saw that awesome, I think it was Sweda, who he posted a Massacre vid. It was badass. I mean, Massacre is definitely badass, and that was an awesome way to fight him. The only real issue with that is just that, like, I like Massacre and he is Defiance, but Doom just goes so well on this team, and not just for this fight, but typically for other fights, even though he's not Defiance. Plus he's rank 4. So there's like a whole lot, you know, you're given +6 attack to the team, you're given armor break to Doom, you're given extended incinerate to Doom and extended shock to Doom. And then Mr. Fantastic, I think, gets like +5% power rate on Careful Study maybe, or something to that effect. Either way, it's just a lot for just Doom. But I mean, I think first and foremost, rank 4. So anyway, yeah, I digress. Dragon Man on this Vigilance node. What is it? Something about Mercy? No hit, no mercy or something? Yeah, I mean, if they're Mystic, She-Hulk pretty much just bodies them on 90-something% of these nodes. He's no exception. You know, this node, if he's extra large, so you keep those Furies just refreshing. I think I finished with full yellow bar here too, which was always super satisfying. Extra large, you know, you get the extra parry stun duration. And yeah, he just gets folded. Man Thing, Conflictor. Yeah, this fight's pretty straightforward. This Conflictor node, and you know, and it's a lot of this is just getting experience with these nodes, you know? I mean, you're not as afraid and as intimidated, A, when you're super boosted, but also when you get experience on these nodes, you get a chance to fight them. There's really no other time to get to experience these nodes except off-season. You can't really replicate any of these nodes. Maybe one of these nodes, or you know, you may have Conflictor in conjunction with other node buffs in other parts of the game, but it's seldom exactly these war nodes, right? And off season, it's all well and good, but you know, it's pretty dog eat dog. I mean, when you don't do assignments in off season, people just get out there and just throw bodies at defenders, right? Like they'll just use their, you know, 2, 3, 4 revives full team on some champion. And, you know, sure, some of us want to, you know, we'll call a certain node to try to, you know, get experience with a certain champ versus a certain defender and whatnot. But then you have these, you know, everyone runs suicides. I don't ever, by the way. So, like, my defenders will never have suicides. But yeah, most people are running suicides, so it's like you don't even get, I mean, recoil's just gonna, you know, just kill them. I run Max Despair, so it's like immediately if they have suicides and they have no immunities, then they're just dying from despair straight off the bat. You know, recoil, just killing them. I mean, you don't get to experience anything, really. You get a taste of the node and the whole experience, right? So there's that. But yeah, Man Thing, like, as I said before, or not Man Thing, Mangog, one of the mans, just gets wrecked. And, you know, with her level 2, you get that, it procs twice, right? So the Petrify procs twice, and once you have that up, and you can parry or throw any debuff, and it actually, the Petrify works against the node, so you're actually reversing Conflictor power gain. So that's nice. But yeah, on to the next war. That was the first one. This war, man, I feel bad for these guys. I mean, you know, sure, we move over here to our vacation alliance, if you will. You know, take some pressure off the season. And hey, you know, these guys tried, but one of these guys had suicides, one of these defenders. So, I mean, how hard are you trying when you're running suicides on defense? Come on, guys. Shame on you. But yeah, this is Vision. I had to run Vision for this war. In hindsight, not at all, because there's a bunch of, I think most of the defenders that I fought in this war were rank 2. Which is like, you know, I still post them because, like, once I realized, man, these guys are just gonna get crushed. Felt bad for these guys. But you know, I still want to help the community. You know, you guys enjoy watching these videos. If you learn something, great. That's what I'm going for. You know, to try to help you guys learn and get better at your game. And you know, maybe entertain in the process. You know, if you get value from it, great. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to compete in, you know, top tier 1, you know, top 3 every single season. But you know, there's trade-offs. I've been in this alliance for years. These are all great guys. And maybe there's a girl or two in here. I don't think so. I mean, someone may be doing the long catfish. I don't know, but I venture to say most of these are guys. But yeah, like, you know, they're all good guys. Like, some are better players than others. You know, some care. Maybe, I don't want to say some care more, because I mean, pretty much everyone here, you know, we all play this game because we enjoy it. But yeah, I guess some are, you know, more hardcore than others. But you know, there's trade-offs, you know. I mean, GT40 is, I think they're like, what, 50 in AQ? I mean, no thanks. Pass. You know, give me a top 3 alliance with top 10 AQ. I don't even know if there is one. Maybe. But, you know, love these guys. Play with them for years. They're all great players. A lot of fun. Anyway, little tangent there. So yeah, rank 2 man thing. I didn't even realize this until literally even right here going into this fight. I didn't even realize this was a rank 2. I thought when I was looking at the board, you know, the map, before I went in, I was like, man, he must not have Miss-Tic dispersion, because he's a, you know, his PI is pretty low. And I just assumed that every one prior to this, around 37, 38 PI, 37, 38,000 PI, max MD, right? Tier 1 more, that's how it goes. So I'm like, well, that's pretty low, 31, but okay, no MD, sure. And then I finished the fight, like, damn. One level 2 into, or one level 3 into level 2, I think just kills this guy. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, God, that was rank 2, wasn't it? Went back and watched the video, sure enough. But you get the gist, you know. Overboosting. Overboosting is not overrated. It's underrated. I like to be efficient with boosts as much as the next guy, but man, if you solo, you didn't overboost. That's the way it goes. Rank 3 Kingpin. I think we were gonna send, someone was like, yo, you know, send Falcon his Defiance, and Falcon would have worked great, you know. No buffs, don't have to worry about Power Snack, still have to get past the, I think, maybe, does he get around the, God, I can't ever remember the name of it, not Power Reserve, but the Power Gain at 50% health, whatever that is. I don't know if Falcon gets around that. Maybe if he's got lock on, is it a defensive ability? I mean, I don't know. Either way, like, he probably has to deal with that, which isn't it's not a big deal. I mean, Falcon would definitely take this fight much faster, and I'm sure Falcon could do it. Vision's just super safe. And I think the guy that was running Falcon was probably still in, like, wasn't ready to fight. I don't know, whatever the case was. Taking this guy here a few times with Vision, just turn, you know, Dex off. When I took Kingpin here with Vision, and it was unstoppable armor, because Kingpin's not part of this global, right? So, you know, take Dex off either way, so you don't have to deal with Power Snack, Power Gain at all. And then you just play around the armor. And in this case, if you're not getting any buffs, Dex is the only buff that Vision gets. If you're not getting any buffs, you don't have to worry about Miss. And it wouldn't matter anyway, because he's not global. So yeah, it's just a straightforward fight. You know, you definitely want a White Mags pre-fight here. Yeah, I mean, you can do it without, but you're doing a lot of heavy baiting, and you're taking a considerable amount of block damage, and hopefully no heavies to the face. Pretty much always running invulnerability with this fight, because Kingpin, you know, he hits hard as heck. So, yeah, you don't need a level 1 star. I guess you could do the region boost, but, you know, like I said, I really think that well, it needs to be more. It needs to be considerably more region, but it also needs to be, like, longer, or, like, you know, I guess you can't really have it like start the fight 20 seconds in when you've maybe potentially lost some damage, you know, to block or hits. But just make it longer then, you know, make it over the course of, you know, 45 seconds or something like that, or 30 seconds. I don't know, it might even be 30 seconds. More health in 30 seconds. How about that? Or maybe stagger it, you know. You know, you get 5% health every 20 seconds immediately or something. I don't know. But it needs to be tweaked a bit, I think. Pretty sure it's a rank 2 Havok, yeah. And this is when I was like, oh man, these poor bastards. Like, rank 2s though, I mean, damn. I mean, I don't know that I've encountered maybe one other time a rank 2 on defense. But yeah, this fight's just, you don't need to take dex off or anything. I mean, it's a spike node, and the I don't know the name of it, where they hit after you knock them down. Every hit into your block, they gain additional power, whatever that is. But yeah, I mean, Vision's the answer here. I'm sure you can use, like, I don't even know, Dr. Octopus or someone with an armor up, you know, permanent armor up, so constant armor ups. But with that, you know, you're activating Spike the entire node, so you're just gonna have to do a lot of baiting. You can really only counter Havok's level 2, maybe level 1, but I don't know if you can. I don't know if it's safe, and definitely don't want to do that before. But the level 2 is about it. So, and then you definitely do not want Havok to go red, because that's a bad time. So yeah, Vision's the answer here, in my opinion. Nimrod, well, he'll work, but you know, you're dealing with Spike the whole time. Now, granted, Nimrod will kill him in like immediately, but it is what it is. I needed Vision for Kingpin anyway. Rank 2 Terrax. Terrax is a champ that I actually want. Not even that he's really good or anything, but I like him. He's cool. He's got some great immunities. What, bleed and shock immune? Yeah, is that right? Bleed and shock immune? Yeah. So that's just like Silver Centurion, huh? Huh. Only he's not contingent on that armor up, and can't be power drained from metal, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, no, I want Terrax. I definitely do want him, and he's going to be sick and tired the next attack tactic. Now, granted, I'm probably going to run Blade as much as I can because he's sick and tired. But yeah, I definitely want a Terrax. So he's like one of the few cosmetics I don't have at all. He was the only reason I almost went for that this year's Nexus? Is that what it was? Or last year's 2020 Nexus? Whatever it was, the one that gave you a set of 6 or a set of 10 champs. I think it was 2020. It's like Sassy and Terrax, and yeah, it came out like I don't know, a week ago or something. It's like, I think there was 5,000 units. And I was like, ugh. No thanks. I have all those champs except Terrax. Yeah, we won that war handily. Poor guys. I mean, seriously, you know, vacationalized or not, that's just piss poor matchmaking. I mean, there was like a 400 point disparity. That's no bueno. But, yep, what was that? Spider-99, Ghost, Quake, or Torch? I don't know. It was too fast. But Spider-99 for sure. Yeah, and I didn't fit. Man, I adjusted that thumbnail so many times. I was like, man, I'm doing it again. I just added in the 5th war. So 3 wars in the thumbnail. And I just had already done the characters in it. And like, I wasn't going to add Nimrod. So yeah, Nimrod too. So we got Nimrod, Mr. Fantastic, She-Hulk this war. What do I have? 6A. Jabari. And then 8 fights this war. Jabari, I don't even remember. Jabari, Dormammu on Power Snack. This is how I always fight Jabari with Nimrod. I find myself often using Nimrod versus Jabari. It just always works out that way. He's, you know, great against her. He's bleed immune. That's really all you need. And he does just burst her down immediately, and of course rank 4 makes all the difference. But it's not like he's exceptional. He doesn't like provide any like, you know, additional parry versus her cleanse or anything like that. If anything, like her throwing specials and getting those debuffs on her that Nimrod inflicts is a hindrance because it gets her into the hunt fast. But I just don't. Jabari, I just don't think is a great defender, honestly. I mean, she can catch people, but if you know how to play her, she's just not really that good. You really don't even need a Blizzmute. Obviously, it's safe, but you know, you can use step back intercepts against her, and she's really spongy. The hunt, you know, you can't dex when the hunt is on, but she doesn't have anything unblockable. So yeah. I just do a lot of upfront parries, you know, get those high charges early on, and then just kind of just wait to the level 2 and rock her. Yeah, this is when I think they died like 3, 4, 5 times before we basically even started. It was like the first defender they gave up so many, like a handful of deaths. So I light boosted for that. I light boosted for that Jabari fight, just 10, 10, 15. And as I went into that fight, the guy taking 4A hadn't taken Dorm yet. So I was like, well, I'll just boost again for Dorm and then do part of my tier 2. Dorm was open when I finished that Jabari fight, and I was just boosted up. And I was like, meh. So I went ahead and just rolled with the light boosts. 10, 10, 15. Defiance. Mr. Fantastic is a boss anyway. Dorm is a chump when you don't have any buffs. Like literally, what does he do? He sucks. And I have him rank 3 as on defense. Yeah, he doesn't have anything scary or difficult. He's been out for an eternity. Easy to counter. If you have no buffs, like he doesn't have anything. I went with Mr. Fantastic because I had a lot of fights this war, and a lot of them were gonna need pre-fights. So I was like, might as well. I think I get out of this fight with 8 of them, which is a load. Yeah, I mean, Mr. Fantastic, man, you get just a 2 stack of each of those up, and that's plenty. But yeah, you get to 3, and it's just dumb. Get some corner spam heavy there. I think I got 2 of those in this fight. He just falls. Yeah. Simple. Yeah, I think KT1 is going to or did take Mr. Fantastic to rank 4. That's his first science. I thought that was interesting. I mean, DLL's had a rank 4 Mr. Fantastic for a while now, and I get it. He very well be my second science rank 4. He probably will be, tell you the truth. Gotta be She-Hulk number 1 though. Gotta be. On the fence a bit. I've wavered a little bit with She-Hulk. You know, not that I don't want to, absolutely. And she's still a front runner for sure, and I'm very likely going to. This Mordo fight though, I'll come back to that, I'll circle back. So instead of parry and then time the heavy, which is what I normally do, I do that. I just corner myself because it's a lot easier to counter that heavy. It's reliable. Now you still have variables in the sense that like he may just pound on your block and all the while gain power from kinetic and not throw a heavy. But I was willing to take that versus trying to time, because a lot of people run stand your ground now, and if you miss time that parry heavy, yeah, he just falls apart right here. Boom! Heads up base running, baby. Heads up. So what I did there, stand your ground on the second hit, I had that special locked and loaded right into his face when he tried to counter. But yeah, like if you mistime that parry heavy, you do it too early, you get astral evaded, and no heavies applied, so now you're just in pain. He's got power and close to getting a power gain, and you have no slow up, especially on that node. That is critical. Or 2, obviously you land it and it's successful. Right as parry stun is wearing off and right as he is going into attack or block stance. Or 3, you are slightly late, he blocks and has stand your ground and parries you. And then you are in a world of pain, because now you're parried, you're gonna get pummeled, he's gonna probably be at or close to a level 1, and you have no slow up. He throws level 1, you've got evade and unstoppable on him now, and it's just a whole mess. So I dueled him a bunch, and I was like, no, I'll just corner myself. Because all you need is that initial slow up. If you get that first heavy up, it pretty much applies to Mordo on any node. It's just far more critical on that node if you miss. Yeah, I mean, doesn't matter. Miss, doesn't matter. I've got buffs expiring all over the place. But yeah, miss, man. If you playing against this node already a handful of times, especially in off season, once you trigger miss once, it's like a 20-second cooldown. So you can just go ham. Once you trigger that miss, you know, you're good for like a minute. Not literally a minute, but you know, a long while there. But yeah, so with Mordo, like, you just corner yourself. I'd rather take those variables, the off chance that he just pounds your block, gains power on kinetic, and doesn't throw a heavy. But you could keep doing that. Hold heavy. Just hold block, hold block, hold block. He's going to throw a heavy eventually, and throw that heavy. And once you get that slow up, it's done for. You just got to make sure to keep it up. But you can parry heavy all day after that, you know? You can just parry heavy all day. You don't have to worry about astral evade. So that was the theory. Worked out. Yeah, and yeah, what I was saying, like, I don't know, like, She-Hulk, this node, I parried once, but ultimately all you really have to do is get into orange mode or Blitz Protocol, because you actually want him throwing specials against your block, so he does gain prowess, so you can just burn it off. I just take it to the face there. But yeah, like, because you got Nimrod, so you can just shred his prowess. Yeah, like, She-Hulk, I mean, she just owns at rank 3 everywhere, especially boosted up. Like, it's overkill for rank 4. Now, mind you, I'm still gonna rank 4 her. It's like very likely gonna be next. But there is an outside chance that I decide to go with like a Defender or Blade. Just because Blade is awesome. He's so versatile, and he's like the only skill I really like to, well, I don't want to say that's not fair. The only skill I use frequently, and one of the few skills that I actually like. There's a handful of skills that I do, a small handful that I like to use. But overall, skill class, not my favorite class. It just, you know, there's no immunities. Off the top of my head, none of their synergies really stand out. Most of them need max deep wounds, which I never run. If I love skill, I would definitely run max deep wounds, and I'd run it if we had more mastery points. But damn, we don't. So yeah, there's an off chance, you know, I decide to rank 4 Defender or Blade. Blade was good on any nodes. I'd probably rank 4 him first. If nothing else, put him on defense. He is going to be sick and tired. That's the logic here. You know, have that sweet, sweet Blade for sick and tired. Sort of make some Blade vids. Daywalker, you know? But yeah, Maw is just a chump. I mean, I get that Wags pre-fight, and it's just a wrap. He just falls over that old man with the hairline. It's like starts back here. Oh man. Yeah. I don't think I had taken Maw there before, but just like Man Thing on that node from earlier in this video, like Man Thing, no, you know, his level 2 isn't unblockable except on this node. Not threatening at all. I mean, not threatening at all versus She-Hulk at all anywhere, but like especially if he can block that level 2, that's like his shtick, right? Like that's his gimmick. Taking her, she's been showing up here pretty frequently actually, versus Mangog. But yeah, you know, you have to bait a few level 1s here, but you suppress the hell out of her power with pre-fights and your own petrifying level 2. She gets this damn armor up though, right? Every time I throw my level 2 and that armor up comes up and it just stifles anything I want to do with that level 2 as far as damage. Not that it matters. I mean, She-Hulk's value isn't necessarily in her damage, especially against, just reset it, right? Especially against small, medium champs. Her value's in all her utility, man. You know, the pre-fights, the power stings, taunts, petrify, exhaustion if you want to go that route. But yeah, gain a little health back here from the armor breaks, but yeah, she's a chump. Just a chump. And another. And nope, don't need another. And then we roll into this freaking Mangog beast. Spider was banned, so like, you know, Spider pretty much takes most bosses now. Because I mean, if nothing else, you're getting that 75% damage reduction on this node, which is ludicrous. And it's like all sources. So you're running suicides, 75% damage reduction. You actually heal from suicides, even the poison. Recoil, reduced. Everything's reduced by 75%, which is just nuts. It's just nuts. So yeah, it's Spider for a large majority of these bosses. So he was banned. She-Hulk absolutely gets this job done, and I always forget. And I guess it depends on how you look at it. I put the whole pre-fight gamut here, all 3 of them. But you really don't need, or depending on, you know, your perspective, want the combat power rate, because you want him to throw specials so that you can keep your oh, I did this boss again. Yeah, that's right, with the brute force up. Just because I was like big boosted, and I was like, well, why not? It's brute force. You know, it's not like he's gonna just camp and freaking turtle on me. He's gonna get hit in the face. I take a little brute force damage in this, but it was no big deal. But yeah, like, you want him throwing these specials so that you can, you know, keep those furies refreshed. But I don't know, like, I don't even know that it matters that much, because he already has slower power gain. I got petrify on him. His combat power rate is already slowed, so I just sit here and just rotate into this guy. I mean, I could have done, and I start realizing that, oh yeah, he's not an AOE node, so like, he's waiting to get parry in there, see that? With Mr. Fantastic's Petrify and her own, because he's not on that AOE node, which gradually just advances his power gain beyond what Petrify can suppress, he just literally will have his power gain, his passive power gain, suppress the entire fight with his Petrify's up. So like right here, like he's reversing, right? So like I could sit there and just rotate heavies, probably for this entire fight, assuming this guy doesn't have stand your ground, or if he does, it's like 1 point because he never resisted anything. But yeah, like, and so this fight was a little longer. It's a boss fight, but mainly I didn't have any furies like the whole fight. You know, 1 fury, maybe 2 at any given time, because he just doesn't have any power. So like, they're not gonna, you can't refresh him. But it was a fun fight. I mean, this guy, She-Hulk just absolutely bodies this guy. Just absolutely uses this guy. No crits on the L2s. I don't know, there's no good what. Our energy resist, physical resist, some other resist. Yeah, She-Hulk. That's what it's about. But yeah, like, so those were wars 3, 4, 5. And then this is the other day. I was like, all right, 10 set, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, that's the first time dude. I was like, damn. Looking for Thor still, you know, obviously, but man, that's all Hype needs. That's all he needs. Just the awakening, the dupe, that's it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. You know, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.